Naturally, their Montecito Majesties are desperately spinning the fraught situation, insisting that all is well in their picture-perfect lives and Thanksgiving is all about family. Their family, perhaps, but not, it would seem, Harry's family or Meghan's family. In a new fawning interview with Marie Claire magazine, the Duchess waxes lyrical about the Afghan women she shared a meal with who are separated from their loved ones. Meghan Markle has never looked so awkward, standing next to a similarly uncomfortable Prince Harry. The picture painted 1,000 words, all of them miserable. On the plus side, the gruesome twosome were at least with each other for a rare moment of public togetherness. But if their video to promote online protection for children was in part to quash increasing reports that their marriage is on the rocks, mission emphatically not accomplished. Meghan Markle's worst nightmares are coming true, as her heavily hyped lifestyle site, American Riviera Orchard, crashes and burns amid reports she has lost all interest. The so-called difficult Duchess is fast turning into a human roadblock to Prince Harry's dreams of rebuilding his lost popularity back in Britain. Scheming Meghan led her hapless husband astray like a lamb to the slaughter because he is hopelessly naive and so unschooled in the ways of the world that it's doubtful he even knows how to book a table at a restaurant. Now,
it is both baffling and amusing to witness Kevin O'Sullivan, alongside others on Talk TV, dedicate segment after segment after segment to ridicule Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The fervor with which they pursue this sort of vendetta would suggest they were personally slighted by the Sussexes. Instead, it reveals a disturbing pattern of obsession, hypocrisy, and willful disregard for facts. It's worth unpacking why individuals like O'Sullivan and the broader tabloid machinery seem so intent on tearing down two individuals whose records of service, action, and resilience stands as a rebuke to their baseless narratives. Kevin O'Sullivan is a commentator, but what has he contributed to humanity that affords him the audacity or the authority to deride those who have demonstrably improved lives? While he crafts petty narratives from the comfort of his studio, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have rolled up their sleeves and tackled real-world problems. From the Invictus Game, a groundbreaking initiative supporting wounded veterans, to Smart Works, a program that was spearheaded by Meghan Markle that helped hundreds of women returning back to work in the UK. What have you done? They have a track record, and it speaks for itself. Has O'Sullivan ever uplifted a single community? Maybe he has, I just don't know. Initiated a program that inspires and empowers people? Again, maybe he has, I just don't know. Until he matches the Sussexes' contributions, his criticism rings rather hollow, except for the people who buy into it. What he does is less a critique and more an expression of, what's the word I'm looking for? Envy. Envy wrapped in disdain. Why does O'Sullivan commentary focus so obsessively on the Sussexes, while ignoring similar behavior within the royal family? He gleefully speculates about Harry and Meghan. Oh, yes, they're definitely separated. Their marital strife. Oh, yes, they're doing solo events now. By the way, he can't stand her. She's so controlling. What's the problem that some men have about a powerful woman? I wonder why that is. So he speculates, just speculates. He paints their every move as proof of dysfunction. If they hold hands, oh, so needy. If they don't hold hands, oh, there's definitely a problem with them now. Yet when Prince William, the one you should be paying attention to, he will be the one you will, go on your knees for. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Don't take it in a bad way. You'll either kneel or you bow or, hey, equal opportunity. You can curtsy. I'm sure it will look fantastic on you. Pay attention to him. How about Kate Middleton? Pay attention to her. You usually have that person from the US who cries and pretends allegedly that she knows the things that she speaks of. So, when Prince William and Kate Middleton undertake separate engagements, often traveling thousands of miles apart, I am sure you have offered criticism, and I'm sure that you have brought up any sort of lingering issues you may see in their marriage. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think you have. Because when it comes to them, absolute silence. If not silence, oh my. The excuses. Why is Harry's solo trip to wherever? Vancouver, Timbuktu, to the bathroom, wherever he wishes. Why does it need to be highlighted as evidence of a rift? While William's solo trip to South Africa, or Singapore, New York, are seen as normal. Why does Kate's extended absence for vague health concerns elicits no scrutiny whatsoever? And I say vague because I am still confused. Now, while Meghan's independent projects are spun as disloyalty, the hypocrisy is so glaring. Could it be that Meghan's race and independence makes her an easier target for O'Sullivan's ire? The lack of consistency suggests as much. Let's address the elephant in the room. No, literally. Because there's an elephant in the room. The animosity towards Meghan Markle often carries the hallmarks of, let me hear you say it again, racism, misogyny, by racial identity and refusal to conform to, what's the thing? The silent archetype of a royal wife have made her a lightning rod for criticism because, oh goodness, having a woman with an opinion or thoughts or ideas, oh, men are so weak. The same men who want to show their bravado. They have these podcasts and they have, oh, I'm a man. I tell my woman, I tell her, you obey me. Now, I really don't have an open relationship, but you see, I can do whatever I want to do. I can go and be with other women because she understands that I'm a man. The sad state of manhood worries me. It's just amazing how O'Sullivan and the rest of them perpetuates these tired stereotypes, casting her as controlling, ambitious, and self-centered. Oh gosh, the crime. While ignoring the strength that she has. It's been 8 freaking years, buddy. 8 years. I want to see one of you put up with any of this nonsense for even a week. Because you're all very agile in spitting it out, like vomit. However, many of you cry, and I don't want to say like girls because, gosh, that would be doing girls misservice. You cry like weak little men the minute something happens to you. Piers Morgan, oh, I can't take this anymore. He walks off like the diva he is, off of his new set. Just walks off. Diva. The other one. He has someone who is what? He went to court and he describes to the court, oh, he's just saying all these things about me on social media, and it's dangerous, and oh, so many of you say these things and you can't even take it for a week. It's been 8 years. 8 years. You work for an establishment that every single show has to comment on Meghan Markle. Why? Because she pays all of you? Because if it wasn't for her, would you even have a job? Would any of you have jobs? I wonder. So, let me not lose what I was saying here. So you ignore her strength, her intelligence, and grace. She has demonstrated under relentless attacks. Well, she's in the public means if she wants to be a public person, she has to put up with it. She's in the public if she's going to be in the royal family, then she has to show us her baby the minute it comes out of her vagina. You freaking pathetic people. Pathetic. All of you. It's telling that the same commentators who deride Meghan's ambition, celebrate Kate Middleton for doing significantly less. Oh my goodness, Kate picked up a pen today. She picked up a pen and she wrote the most extraordinary message to the wounded ant. She saw a wounded ant and she wrote an extraordinary piece. I will read it for all of you. It says, And you see how ridiculous that sounds? How stupid it sounds? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? The double standards is undeniable. And it's deeply rooted in bias, racism, that honestly should have no place in modern journalism. But listen, all of you are breathing the same air. You're probably drinking the same pissy water. And maybe you're consuming the same virus in your foods. So it's absolutely amazing because you all vomit the same words. So my only assumption that I can make, not being a doctor or anything like that, that it's something common that you're all taking. Perhaps the most distasteful aspect of O'Sullivan's commentary is his gleeful anticipation of a family's collapse. I've said this before, and I'll say it again and again and again. I've never in my lifetime, and I asked my parents too, so just we can cover lots of numbers, lots of years, that an entire media machinery is advocating for the collapse of a marriage and of a family. I've never seen it. It is so disturbing to watch all of you, repeat the same things and wish that this family that has gone through so much hasn't had enough time, in my humble opinion, to breathe. Because every single day, you useless human beings, without a heart, a soul, or understanding of empathy or any emotion that is dignified, you want to use a woman who's done nothing to you as the item, the body, the thought that you will abuse. You're all such cowards. Such cowards. Your minds are dirty, your souls are dirty, your bodies are rotten. Why does O'Sullivan and others in the media seem so eager for Harry and Meghan's marriage to fail? Really, this is not journalism, people. It's not journalism. It's voyeuristic. It's cruelty disguised as commentary. Contrast this with Harry and Meghan's public dedication to family building and community support. Their work with initiatives like Girls Inc. and the Welcome Program, Family Network, speaks to their commitment to uplifting others, not tearing them down. But you see, because there are people like O'Sullivan that doesn't want good in this world, that doesn't understand good in this world. O'Sullivan even goes to the point of mockery of projects like the Invictus Game, even Archewell Productions. made himself a spectacle about the polo series. And it reveals your ignorance. It absolutely reveals the ignorance and bad faith. Oh, when Meghan had to have her name there, she wasn't even involved in the series. But of course, she had to stick her name in there. She had to stick her name in there. She had to stick her name in there. You fool. Uneducated fool. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are the founders of Archewell Production. That is why both of their names are there. This is an Archewell production for Netflix. You work in the medium. Are you that frail incapacity to think? Is that it? Because as much as I do marathon laps in my brain to understand why the stupidity, I'm finding it difficult to understand why. I am just some guy. Honestly, I am just some guy. And I know this stuff. You work in the medium. You are a professional. You get paid for this crap. Now, let me just educate you a little bit more. These initiatives, far from being vanity projects, they have tangible impacts. Invictus empowers veterans and their families, fostering global solidarity. Archewell's work includes partnerships that address online safety for children, mental health, and systemic inequality. Dismissing these efforts says more about the critic and critics than it does about the Sussexes. If we compare these accomplishments to the current efforts of other royals, the difference is stark. While the Sussexes actively tackle complex global issues, the working royals seem more preoccupied with ribbon cutting, photo ops, and blaming the Sussexes. I mean, for heaven's sake, there was a pedo that the Church of England just transferred, didn't say anything, had nothing to do with Meghan Markle. And guess, yes, please guess, because you're likely going to be right. They tried to find this bizarre connection to say, you see, it was her fault. The Archbishop was so busy because Meghan Markle was having these tantrums that he couldn't stop the pedo. The Sussexes' influence ripples far beyond ceremonial engagements, impacting real lives in measurable ways. It's worth questioning why O'Sullivan's rhetoric resonates with certain audiences. Perhaps it reflects a societal discomfort with individuals who challenge tradition, particularly when they succeed against all odds. Meghan and Harry's resilience in the face of relentless hostility shatters the narrative that dissent leads to failure. You see, they all want you to be orderly in line, being obedient. Oh, if you're disobedient, this is going to happen. If you dare get out of that line, this is going to happen. If you dare not, this is going to happen. Well, so instead, what Meghan and Harry have proven by standing by their values, by what they know is right and what they know is wrong, can lead to a global admiration and impact. O'Sullivan and his peers may continue their attacks, but history will remember the Sussexes not for the tabloid narratives, but for their contributions. From creating the Invictus Games to advocating for marginalized communities, they have chosen substance over spectacle. Their legacy of action stands in sharp contrast to the empty rhetoric of their detractors. You see, this is why there is an entire media machinery that goes non-stop against these two people, and especially Meghan Markle. Because the more they flood the archives of the future with this nonsense, people may just think that she was indeed a bitch, the most awful thing that ever happened to humanity. She single-handedly brought down the English monarchy. She insulted the Queen. What else did she do? Oh, she probably insulted Philip also. Who else? Tell me, who else? Oh, Camilla? Oh, yes, Camilla too. Charles? Yeah, why not? Ungrateful, wasn't she? Oh, and she cannot be trusted because she's made no attempt to speak to the father that has done some of the worst behavior that one can do to one's child, with the exception of that other stuff that I will not mention. Believe that for the Anglican Church to deal with. You're all on a planet of your own, and it's not even interesting anymore. It's rather boring to see your intellectual frailty. It's sad, rather. You know, perhaps it's time, honestly, perhaps it's time for commentators like O'Sullivan to turn the lens inward and ask, what have I done to better humanity? Until then, their words remain what they have always been: noise. Noise. Devoid of meaning or merit. Sad, isn't it?